a lot of times when we talk about trauma, when we discuss trauma, we always talk about trauma as in the people that are suffering. So when we talk about people living in the ghettos, or we talk about poor people, or we talk about people that are sick, we talk about trauma. Or we talk about people that were in a bad car accident or have something really bad happen to them. And we talk about trauma and what trauma means. But you know what? I really think that one thing that we miss is we miss the discussion about trauma when it comes to successful people. Because let me tell you something, success doesn't ask who's rich or who's poor, or trauma doesn't ask who's rich or who's poor. Trauma is like death. Trauma doesn't say, oh, well, you're healthy, so you can't die yet, or you're a child, you can't die yet. Trauma is the same way. Trauma doesn't ask whether you have money. Trauma doesn't care whether you have money in the bank. It's coming. Trauma doesn't care if you just got married. Trauma is coming, right? Trauma doesn't care if you just had a great day yesterday. Trauma is coming. So success does not take away trauma. Let me tell you a little personal story right quick. Last year, I'll tell you two. Last year, I was a principal of a school. And it was a great situation. I want to tell y'all, if y'all looking while I'm looking up, I'm looking at TikTok, I'm trying to look at everybody, all right? Last year, I was a principal of a school, and what happened to me was I'm in the school, everything's going great, right? I'm getting love from the janitors, the lunch people, the teachers. My school was a brilliant school. I mean, I was a dope principal. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't pat myself on the back, but I was a pretty dope principal. And so, our school year starts in September and it ends around June. I was sitting there in my house one day and I called my lady and I said, I don't think I want to do this no more. I don't think I want to do this anymore. Have you ever, I want to talk to y'all today. Have you ever been in a successful place? Seems like everything's good, but something in here don't feel good, right? You can have some money in the bank. You can have everything going on, but something doesn't feel right. Right. So they like, look, this dude is a successful principal. I was creative. The kids love me, but something in here didn't feel right. And let me say this to some of you right now. Don't be fooled by other people's definition of success for you. Let me say this again. Don't be fooled by other people's definition of success for you. Because just because they think you're doing good doesn't mean that you're satisfied. You got to know your level of success, because there are some people that live a mediocre life, and mediocrity, they'll project that on you and start to make you feel that what you're doing is good enough. When in reality, there's a greater level for you to go to. You understand? There's a greater level for you to go to in life, and what you cannot do as a man, and some of you sisters on here, so I'll just talk to you too. What you can't do is lower your standard of success for people that don't understand it. Do not lower your standard of success for people that don't understand it. But let me get further into this, because I want to give you some statistics, right? Because again, we think trauma is about being poor, and trauma is about being sick, and trauma is not about not having. You can have everything in the world and still be bound in trauma. What do you mean? Here's a statistic for you. Middle-aged men, successful professionals making six figures a year, account for 70% of the world's suicide number. Y'all hear me? Middle-aged, successful men making six digits a year account for 70% of the suicides. Y'all hear me? So success. Listen, during the Depression in the 1920s, y'all remember the Depression, the historic Depression in the end of the 1920s. There were poor slave men that knew how to put a seed in the ground and grow something for their family. While you had men that were living in tall buildings in New York with millions of dollars still in their account, even though the Depression was going on, and they were jumping out of 60-story windows, killing themselves because the very thought of not having was crushing them. I really want y'all to peep this, because success, let me say this to you very clearly. Success does not get rid of trauma. Success does not hide trauma, right? I was so depressed as a great principal, not because the school wasn't good, not because the teachers weren't great, but because there was something in me that needed more. You know what it is? I left my job to get on this computer and talk to you. I don't make any money on here. But I'm gonna tell you, listen, there are some people that are crazy like me. There are some people who are not crazy as me, but there are some people crazy like me that are willing to say, you know what, especially in this age, I'd rather follow my dream path than live a life that I hate just because I got money in my pocket. Because I'm gonna tell you, you weren't born. There's something in you that wants to do what you want to do. And I'm not talking about just frivolous things. There's something in you that wants to fulfill your purpose. There's something in you, you got to fulfill your dream. There's something in you that you really need to get where you got to go as a man. And listen, let me say this, don't live in places that you're comfortably uncomfortable. You hear me, brothers? Don't submit to a place in your life where you are constantly comfortably uncomfortable. Brothers, don't stay with a woman who keeps you comfortably uncomfortable. Because what you'll do is you'll die in a space you should be thriving in. 70% of the suicides are amongst successful men who make six figures a year. So money doesn't fix your problem, right? That's why I hated this concept of the high value man. What is the high value man? High value doesn't come in what you got in the bank. High value comes in what you have in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If you don't have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you are not a high value man. I'm gonna say that right now because the internet got a lot of y'all messed up. The internet got a lot of y'all messed up. You are believing that what somebody told you that you make this kind of money, you drive this kind of car, and you're a high value man. I'm sure people thought those people in Hollywood that are falling right now were high value men. I'm sure right now Hollywood is running scared, depending on who's on what tape right now, because what that goes to show you, what you see in Hollywood. Let me get bold with y'all. What you see with Diddy and what you see with these stories, what you see, and Diddy wasn't the beginning of this. This thing was going all the way back since the beginning of Hollywood. You hear me? The use and abuse of people. What that shows you is being at the top does not separate you from trauma, right? Understand this. Money only allows you to afford your sickness. Money allows you to afford your sickness. Money won't hide your sickness. I know some of you guys saying, look, as soon as I get this money, I got to get this money. I'm on this hustle, hustle, hustle. That's another word that's destroyed men. It's destroyed you as a man, the hustle. Because you know what the hustle did? The hustle blinded you from your own injuries. That's what the hustle does to men. That's what success. We try to blind our pain with success. Brother, it doesn't last long. I pastored a church for 27 years. I planted churches around the country 27 years. I was an international speaker. There were days that I remember one particular day, I was in Zimbabwe teaching, and it was in a stadium. It was people everywhere. And here I am back at my hotel room. I would just preach to 10,000 people in a stadium in Bore in Zimbabwe. I came back to my hotel room and I wanted to die because that success of being out there speaking to people didn't change how I felt about me. It didn't change how I felt about me. I was still broken, right? Crowds and applause. Listen to me, men. Crowds and applause, whether it's applause on your job, whether it's applause for your promotion, whether it's applause for whatever you get. The problem with building your life on applause is, what do you do when the applause stops? What does Diddy do right now in jail now that there's no music awards and no trophies? And do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about Diddy on my podcast to get clicks or likes. That's why I didn't put Diddy in my title. I'm just trying to show you that what you think is success, if you have an inner sickness, you hear me, men, listen to me, men. I feel very spirit-led, my God. Hear me, man, I don't care how successful you are. Success won't hide your sickness. In fact, success would just drive your sickness. Most of these things you see in people now didn't start now. These people were sick when they were broke, and money just allowed them to afford more chaos. Listen, bro, chase yourself. Listen, as much as men growing up, men say, man, go get that girl, man. This is what you got to do to get a girl. This is what you got to do to get that shorty. This is what you got to do to lock her down. Imagine if men, man, look, I'm going crazy on the internet because I'm tired of the sicknesses on the internet. Imagine if fathers were teaching their sons to chase themselves like they said chase these girls. You know what my dad told me? My dad told me, son, these chicks is always going to be here. You better lock yourself down in what you need in life. I thank God I had a father because he showed me something. He showed me that the chase has to be personal. Hear me. The chase has to be personal, TikTok. The chase has to be personal, Instagram. The chase has to be personal, YouTube. The chase has to be personal, Facebook. Listen to me, men. The chase has to be personal. My God, what time is it? I'm going to run out of time. I got a half-hour show. Okay, 70% of men committed to suicide. Listen, high achievers. I want to talk to some of you high achievers. I want to talk to some of you people that are scared to fail. You work so hard, brother. You don't want to fail. And you know what drives a lot of that for you? I understand you. This is no judgment. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to teach. But many of us who were broke growing up are major driving forces to make sure we're never broke again, right? And there's no problem with wanting to have finance. It's the problem comes in when you want to have that finance, but it breaks your soul. What's the soul, Christian? The soul is the mind, the will, and the emotions. Listen to me, brothers. I don't care how successful you get. If you're broken in your mind, that money won't save you. That woman won't save you. That car won't save you. I'm telling you, I was a successful principal. I was a successful pastor. I was a successful global evangelist. But it didn't matter because I wasn't a successful me. I wasn't a successful me. 30% of high achieving people experience depression, anxiety, and some form of psychological distress because the success becomes more important than inner success. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm not scared to talk about God because this is what society has done. It's taken us away from God. God created man in his image and after his likeness. Now you know what's happening with men now? We're chasing social status. We're chasing what the world says success is. And we're losing our families and losing our children. I want to throw this in for somebody right quick. Again, I'm a spirit-led teacher, so I'll talk to what I feel that somebody needs to hear. There are some men right now that your problem has always been caught in trying to find love. Your issue has always been, I'm trying to find love. I'm trying to find a woman that loves me. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. You chase these girls. Imagine if you pursued your daughters with love and you've lavished them. Imagine if you gave all the gifts to your daughters that you gave to these raggedy women out here. Imagine if you put the planning in to make your daughters smile the way you put planning in to make these women who most of the time are no good. Imagine if you dove into your daughter's life with your love. Buy them cards, buy them flowers, show them something, take them out. That's what a man does because that's what counts. That's what counts. You got to pursue your family like you pursue your success. You got to pursue yourself like you pursue your success. Now, somebody will ask me, well, Christian, what do I pursue first? My family or me? You. You pursue you. Because I'm going to tell y'all, there's no such thing as work-life balance. I know this is going to mess y'all up because millions of people have millions of dollars has been spent on books about work-life balance. There's no such thing as balance. There's no such thing as balance. I'm going to say this to you. I know y'all think I'm crazy. It don't matter. There's no such thing as balance. If there's not a full investment, brother, in your humanity, you won't have anything to give to anybody else. Let me see who's on. Let me see who's in here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. You have to pursue the things that count. And what counts is you. What counts is you. What counts is you, right? What counts is you. So I'm not going to be addicted to success. I'm not going to be addicted to getting this money. I'm addicted to searching for the best man. I'm trying to find me. Listen, brothers, I'm trying to find the man before he was hurt, right? I taught y'all a few weeks ago about Adam. And how we study Adam after his fall. We spend so much time, men, listen to me, brothers. We spend so much time trying to restore ourselves after the fall when we should be spending more time trying to figure out who we were before life fell apart. I'm going to say that again. We spend too much time trying to figure out how to recover from a fall. We need to spend more time as men looking at who we were before trauma ever touched our life. Who were you before you lost that girl? Who were you before you got your heart broke the first time? Who were you before you put your hands on that drug the first time? Who were you before money was the biggest thing? Because if you're going to have a successful life as a man, you got to pursue what counted before you fell. Because a lot of the stuff we pick up are just props. It's not real. It's not real. So I want to talk about, what time is it? Goodness gracious. All right, I got 9 minutes. I won't finish this today. But let me say this first. I want to show y'all the advice. If you need advice this morning, this is dear brother advice. I got 9 minutes left for my show. But if you need some advice this morning, jump in the chat and I will give you some advice. I will stop my teaching and I'll get into some advice. If you need some advice this morning, sisters, you're included. If you need some advice this morning, jump in the chat. Instagram, and everybody, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, jump in the chat and I will help you out with some advice this morning. All right. So this is dear brother, the advice. Remember, I want to say this again, my little commercial break. Remember, I have a night show tonight, Monday night. I'm having a show every Monday night for men. Tonight at 9:00, I'll be talking about relationships. What I'll be talking about is how men don't want to take accountability for anything and how women won't admit wrong. And that's the brokenness of our relationship. And I also will go into the fact that it's not men's fault and it's not women's fault. There's a funded system to make us hate each other. And that's why it's so big on the internet. I believe that there's a lot of podcasts that are being fed money to ruin relationship. If you ruin relationship, you allow the systems, you allow religious systems, you allow political systems then to run the family. And if political and religious systems run the family, then they raise your children. I believe all this passport bro stuff is a funded thought to make men think there's something better out there. There's funded to have this soft girl era. You understand? Do you understand the waves that the internet has taken people through? All kinds of twisted philosophies. Well, tonight I'm addressing them all. But I want to get back into these high achievers because some of you are high achievers. You're killing yourself. What are you trying to prove? I'm going to ask some of y'all that. What are you trying to prove? Talk to me in the chat. What are you trying to prove through your drive? Is your drive driving you or do you have control of the drive? Is your drive driving you or are you in control? Let's see what's going on Instagram. Oh, goodness. I never went live on Instagram. Goodness gracious. All right. So the armor of success. I want to talk about the armor of success. Hiding emotional wounds behind accomplishments won't work. I walked in my church one time when I was pastoring. I walked into my church and was full of people and the band was going. We had money in the bank. We paid off of $250,000 in cash. We owned a half a block of property. I mean, I had a parking space. Everything was great. Everything people call success was great. And I hated every bit of it because every time I would get in front of those people with all the success and everything going on, something in here said, there's something more for you. There's something more for you. You got to know when there's more for you. You got to know, brother, listen to me. You got to know when there's more for you. Don't let a woman come in your life and say, baby, that's enough. Not when you know that God put something on your mind as a man. Listen, brothers, if you don't remember anything else I said today, don't be limited by a romantic relationship. Don't be limited by some homie that can't see and perceive who you really are. Don't be limited by family members who don't understand your dreams. Because you got to understand that when you go on to be successful, there still has to be a you that you take care of. Success acts like a shield. You got to remove it. Society teaches men especially to suppress vulnerability. Don't be vulnerable and protect your strength. Question you got to ask yourself as a man is it real strength? Are you projecting real strength? Or are you crying in the dark, broken in the shower? Come on, man. I know all of us want to act so we got it together, but this world is crushing men. Only 1 out of 7 men even ask for help. Only 1 out of 7 men get coaching. So this is the perfect time for my commercial before I go. Visit my website, christianwinters.com. I remember a time I wanted coaching as a man. I wanted counseling as a man. I could not afford it. And the thing that always broke my heart was if I'm gonna get help and I gotta pay for it and I don't got nothing, then what do I do? Well, you know what I did? Go to christianwinners.com right now. I'm not a capitalist. The world is built on capitalism. I'm built on the resurrection of the human. That's what I'm built on. So go on my website. I have donation-based coaching for men right now. Donation-based coaching for men right now. Go on my website, christianwinters.com. Christianwinters.com. Go on my website. I have donation-based coaching, right? For some of you brothers say, look, I ain't got it. I don't got $1 in my pocket. Guess what? You shouldn't die because you don't have $1, bro. That's what they do to men in prison. Men in prison go to jail for stealing a bag of potato chips and got to spend 5 years in prison because they don't have $50 bond. Well, guess what? Let's remove capitalism. Let's help you before you wind up in prison. Let's help you before you wind up on alcohol. Let's help you before you go back to the addiction. Get on my website right now, christianwinners.com. I'm coaching men donation based. What are you donating to? You're donating to my ability to coach more men. See, when you say, look, that was worth this to me, and you give whatever you give, what it does is allows me to coach more men for free. That's what I want to do, man. I'm not a capitalist. This world is built on money. I'm built on the redemption of man. Call me crazy, but I'll be the man that cares about the world enough that I don't got to reach in your pocket or it don't have to be an exchange to help you. I'm a father. I'm a father. That's what I told God I want to be for the rest of my life, not just to my children, but to this world. There's too many men that either if they don't have anything to give or what they have to give, they want an exchange for. They want to get paid for. Where are the fathers? I was chilling with my daughters yesterday. And my one daughter's a track star, and my one daughter's on her way to college. And I sat down with them as a father and said, well, listen, this is how we're going to do this. What's your GPA over here? All right, we got to get this here. All right, ask my daughter, now, how fast did you run last year? We got to do this by this date. That's a father sitting down with daughters saying, here's advice, here's wisdom, here's love, here's a kiss on the forehead, and you don't got to give up nothing. You don't got to exchange anything. Do you imagine how safe the world would be if we had more men who would give without the need for exchange? Right? Yo, why are you talking like this, Christian? Because I'm a damn revolutionary. I'm tired of people sitting around dying. I'm tired of men sitting in churches dying, men sitting in mosques dying, Jewish men sitting in synagogues dying because we're doing our religious duty, but we're dying inside. I'm tired of men living inside of their man cave. You think you're watching the game, but you're really dying in that cave. That's what the man cave does. You think you're going to chill, but you're going to die. You know why? Because in that man cave, you won't communicate with nobody. That's where you study your pain in that man cave. You take that in that man cave. That's where you puff that blunt to get rid of what you're going through. That's what counseling has been. The blunt, the drink. You hear me? You hear me? I'm not knocking the brothers who take a drink or a smoke or a cigar, whatever it is. But some of you know it. Don't front for me, bro. I'm a real guy. Don't front for me. A lot of our vices are there only to try to remove pain. It's try to remove pain. Right? I can show y'all marks on my arm right now where drugs didn't work. So I thought that I could cut myself back in about 10, 12 years ago. I said, pain got so bad. Now, man, I was leading, man. I was leading. I'm speaking at churches. I'm speaking at colleges. I'm the guy. But when I come home to my 1-bedroom apartment, pain made me start cutting myself. I wasn't trying to die. I was just trying to feel pain because pain was so much on my life that I felt like more pain would be pleasurable. I'm trying to prove to you, bro, that success won't keep you. Success is only armor to cover real pain. So be successful, but success is of the soul. Success is of the soul, right? What time is it? 1 minute. All right. I'm going to use my 1 minute for my commercial. Visit my website right now, christianwinters.com. I got counseling, donation-based coaching. Donation-based coaching, man. I got donation-based coaching for men. christianwinners.com. Go to it right now. TikTok. God bless you, man. Thank you for hanging on today. Facebook, YouTube. Sorry, Instagram. I forgot to bring you in. But go to my website right now and christianwinners.com. Donation-based coaching for men, all right? I do group coaching for men. Y'all hear me? I do group coaching for men. That's also donation-based, all right? Again, where does your donation go? Your donation is nonprofit. My nonprofit is called Master Built Men. It's a nonprofit donation it helps me counsel more men. All right. I also have a school in Guyana in South America where I built it. I built it 7 years ago to rescue children from sex trafficking. That donation also helps me educate those kids there. All right. So I built that school. I met a little girl who was selling. Listen, brothers, I met a little girl who was selling her body on her way to school for pieces of chicken. As a man, I couldn't take that. I flew back to this country and I raised as much money as I can to build a school in Guyana to rescue those girls. Right? I'm not saying this as a pat on my back. What I'm saying is that this is where your donations will go. Your donations will allow me to build that school, to not only to not build it as built, but to supply that school, to supply the teachers. Right? I was there a few months ago teaching men, and the teachers I hired there, they said, Christian, we are now educating the parents as well. So we're educating parents of those kids in Guyana. We're stopping sex trafficking in that village, and we're also educating the kids to keep their children, educating the parents to keep their children safe. All right. So go to my website right now, christianwinners.com. My show is over for the day. We start at 6:00. I got a 30-minute show. But go to my website. You need coaching. It's donation based. I do group coaching. I will come to your football team. I'll come to the trap house. Listen, I got a goal for the hood. I'm going to show y'all some videos in a few weeks. But I got a goal to save the hood, the worst hood. I'm talking about the hood you don't even see, the hood that starts their day at 2 a.m, right? I'm going after this thing. I will not die full of my gift. I will die empty. I will die empty. And I want you to say the same thing. Go to my website, christianwinners.com. Get your coaching up, man. Schedule your meeting today. And my table of 12 giants. My table of 12 giants. Go to my website right now and visit. It's called the table of 12 giants. I think there might be 4 spaces left for this month, right? 4 spaces left for this month at my table of 12. Each month, I take 12 men online, right? 2 hours on a Saturday, 9 to 11. I spend 1 month, once a week online with 12 men, and I help them discover their gift and help them birth a passion project to change their community. All right. I help men discover their gifting and birth a passion project that they can use to change their community. Go to my website, sign up now. If the 12 are full for October, then get in the November camp. All right. All right, everybody. Remember, man, your donations, if you want to donate, this is also a project. If you want to donate, Master Built One on Venmo, Master Built One on Cash App. You can be a blessing to the work. The work is to help other men build. All right. Let me see before I go. Let me see who's in the chat. All right. The comfort zone. Yes, Joey Smith, the comfort zone. Let me see. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Absolutely. 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 The comfort zone is absolutely where dreams go to die. Yes. It's where you get comfortable. Be careful when you're comfortable, right? Listen, don't look for comfort. Look for contentment. Y'all gonna make me stay on here longer now. Listen, don't look for comfort. I gotta go. Lord Jesus. Don't look for comfort. Look for contentment, right? Don't look for comfort. Look for contentment. That's where you want to go. All right. Let me see. All right. Good morning, everybody. My show is over. We do a half-hour show. I'm here every morning, 6 a.m. for the brothers, ladies. Y'all welcome all the time. Well, welcome. Hey, Nakia, how all the way from Florida? Blessings, my sister. Blessings. Yes, ma'am. That's the Braveheart. That's you. Nakia was in my school. I had a school, leadership school. Yeah. Goodness gracious. It's so good to see you all. Remember, brothers, you matter. You matter today. You matter tomorrow. Remember, yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. All you got is right now. Stand strong. No fear, no shame, no compromise. Remember, tonight, I got a live show for the men discussing relationships. The topic, women won't admit fault. Men won't take accountability. Let's get into it. Have a good day, everybody. I love y'all. I'm out. Oh, let me pray for y'all for your go. Holy Spirit, thank you so much for each person on here. Thank you for their life. Thank you for the time I got to spend with them today. I pray that this day would be wholesome for them. I pray that this day will be full of life. I pray that this day would be full of hope. I pray that this day would be full of power and authority. But most of all, I pray that today would be a day of clarity for them. I pray that today will be clarifying for some people that are confused, trying to figure things out. I pray that today will be clarifying for some of my brothers and some of my sisters that are here today. I pray that they will have clarity on where they got to go. And for the confused mind, for the gifted, successful person that's saying, you know what, Christian, I still feel limited. I pray, Lord, that you would lead them today, guide them where they're going. Today, I pray for a fresh day of thinking, a fresh day of thought, a fresh day of smiles, that today won't have to be a dull Monday. It could be a day of life and achievement. I pray that they would feel your love and they would feel my love for them today. In Jesus' name, I'm out, y'all. I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all. No fear, no shame, no compromise. Peace.